You're in the right place if you like to hear about faith, mindset, and entrepreneurship. So in today's podcast episode, I'm talking with Amaya about her journey with surviving cancer. Besides having cancer inside of your body as a disease, we're going to talk about things that could be cancer in your own life, things that are killing you, things that are holding you back. And make sure that you turn on the post notifications so that way every time I post, you're immediately notified so that way you could be the first one to watch it. Thank you. Today I have Amaya, and it's so crazy because I actually know her from middle school.
Literally.
Even though like me and her like were never like really friends or like never really talked because she was like older than me. She was like in an older grade level. I think I was like in 7th grade. I remember her being like in 8th grade. And I just remember like looking at you and being like, oh my gosh, like she's so pretty. Like she's like friends with all the popular kids.
Oh,
like that's what I was thinking at like 7th grade.
Oh my gosh. That's when I was having a hard time too. I was always moving schools, so I struggled. But that's so sweet.
Okay, so what happened around that time? Like, why were you switching schools so much? And how did you end up at Greenwood?
Yeah, so before that, I, like elementary school, stayed in the same school, but I went to so many different middle schools because I was living with my mom, but going back and forth with my dad, but mainly with my mom, and then different jobs. So in Lake Mary, in Orlando, back to Lake Mary. So I actually, after Greenwood, I ended up going to Blankner, which was in Orlando. And then before freshman year, back to Lake Mary to go to high school there. So yeah, I was all over the place.
So you went to Lake Mary High School?
Yeah, I did. Okay. I actually went to Boone High School too, because again, moving, and then I went to Boone for like, I think 6 months. I don't even think I finished a full school year.
What high school did you graduate from?
Lake Mary.
Okay, so yeah. I went to Lake Mary too.
Yeah.
Just for like freshman year, and then I got expelled because I got caught smoking weed.
Wait, did you really?
Yeah, I got expelled out of Lake Mary.
Oh my gosh! Wait, how did you got caught like on campus smoking?
Yeah, because it was like I had friends that were like kind of like bad influences.
Yeah.
Like it was never me, but it was like them, and so like I was
tagging
hanging
along
out with them. Yeah, I was like tagging along. So it was like during like lunchtime, and it was like you know how the senior patio there was like these stairs outside.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're like there. And there was like this kid that like walked up to us and was like, oh, like let me smoke that, and we were like, nah. And he walked away, and I swear I think he snitched because then like the administrative people came and boom, we all got sent to the office. And yeah, but I was kind of happy because I don't know why I had this feeling that it was like time for like a new chapter. Yeah, and I was like super excited. I was like, oh, what is Journeys like? So yeah, I ended up going to Journeys.
Oh wow! And then did you just do online after that?
No, after that I went to Winter Springs, and then I graduated from Seminole.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Stitch.
Having a dog is like having a baby.
Literally.
It's like having a kid. Okay, so for everyone who's like listening to the podcast or watching this on YouTube, Amaya is always posting on her Instagram story, and she also has a YouTube channel, and she talks about surviving cancer. Yeah. So that's what I really wanted to talk to you about, because it's like a lot of the times I feel like people just wonder like, you know, is that going to happen to me? Or like, what would it be like if that does happen? And you don't really think it's going to happen to you until it happens to you.
Until it happens, right.
So how did you find out that you had cancer?
So it's crazy because cancer literally doesn't run in my family. So, you know, most of the time some people get it and they're like, oh, you know, like my grandma or somebody had it. So you kind of like, you get tests done to hopefully make sure you don't have it. But for me, literally, I graduated 2018. 2019 was when I was diagnosed. And I mean, months leading up before that, I was sick all the time. I probably was like, I was taking Tylenol, cold and flu every single day just to get through shifts at work, just to get through school. And literally, I woke up for school one day, packed a bag for work because I had school and then I had to go to work right after. And I literally just passed out. And I remember fainting and texting my mom, oh my God, I just passed out. And I think the night before I might have been like throwing up or something, just like so sick. Couldn't even getting out of bed that day was hard, but I got up because I was nauseous to get a soda water. Yeah. And then I remember fainting and I texted my mom and she was like, Amaya, if you don't go to the hospital right now, like I'm calling the ambulance, like you're going. And I was like, no, please don't call. I drove myself to the hospital after that. Because I just didn't want to get, I have like a hat at the time, had a fear of like, I stayed away from doctors, didn't do any of that. But yeah, sure enough, drove myself to the hospital. All right, mister, you're being crazy. Yeah, drove myself to the hospital, stayed there for about 3 days, getting tests done. And never in my mind did it, like it crossed oh, I probably have cancer. Like that never crossed my mind. I was getting tested done. I had a biopsy done. Never until the doctor came in. And the way he came in, I remember like I was with my sister-in-law, and the way he sat down, my heart just sank. So for 3 days, completely clueless. And then the minute he sat down, literally my heart sank. And I knew it wasn't going to be good news. And then that's when he told me I had leukemia. And again, no family history of it. So it was just it was a big shock. And yeah, I mean, all my blood work was so out of whack.
What was your reaction?
No, I was numb. I was just like, I remember
like this isn't real.
Yeah, no, actually, like pinch me. This isn't real. I need to wake up from this dream, nightmare, basically. But yeah, no, I literally just sat there. My sister-in-law was in the room on the same couch as him. He came in, said it really quick, and then he walked out, and we just both were like, and then I had to be the one to call like everyone in my family and be like, yeah, like this is why I'm here. This is what came back. And then everything after that just moved so fast. I mean, I got transferred to a different hospital, I think within 4 hours that day. And immediately they're talking about different treatments, all this stuff. And it was so crazy. It was really crazy.
Wow. So
yeah.
Like what is it like? You know, like the mindset wise, like did you get depressed? How do you overcome like,
Yeah.
feeling the days that you feel like what were you feeling? Like what was your like mindset, emotions like going through like this whole journey
Yeah.
in the beginning and towards the end?
I think physically I struggled. But I will say I was in pretty good spirits, and I don't feel like I would have been in such good spirits if it wasn't for my family. Like my mom, my brother, everyone was so supportive, my aunt, uncle, all of them. And I think that helped. And honestly, I never in my head, it was bad, but it didn't cross my mind that I was in a position where I was going to die. I know that kind of sounds crazy because of all of it. I mean, it wasn't good. I didn't have like good results and everything, but that really didn't cross my mind. I was just like, okay, I need to get through this. And I always, when I talk to people about it, I'm like, the mental part of it is half the battle. And, you're going through stuff physically, but mentally, I just try to keep my spirits high. And I swear, I say it every day. If it wasn't for my family, I would not have got through it the way that I did.
So what do you do like when you were going through the journey? Like what are some things that you would do on the daily to like keep your spirits high besides your family?
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of puzzles. I have so many puzzles. That's when I really got into reading too. I love reading now because of it. And
what kind of books do you read? Like fictional?
Yeah,
or non-fictional?
No, fiction for sure. Romance, or I love thriller now. I started with romance though, and then got into thriller. And but just kept myself busy. And the hardest part, it really is being in the hospital. And like at the time I had my dog, being away from my dog, that was the hardest part for me. I just wanted to be home so bad. And the first time when I first got diagnosed, I was in the hospital for almost 46 days. And they don't let you outside the room. You could stay on the floor that you're in, but you can't go anywhere else because you're so high risk for infection or, getting anything. Barely any visitors either. But yeah, my mom was there pretty much every step of the way. She would sleep on that little couch that was inside the room or the chair. Yeah, she was there. I mean, she at the time worked from home because COVID first hit, and bring her setup, and she would work in the hospital room with me. Yeah, so yeah. But yeah, I will say the first time I got diagnosed, mentally trying to get through it, but the second time when I relapsed after being in remission was really the hardest. I struggled really bad then because I was just like, oh my god, not again. It was like 8 months later, and I was like, no, this is not real.
Yeah, because you were like, I don't know how you call the word, like cured?
Yeah,
or
in remission, in a state of remission, like no evidence of disease. I think they say NED.
Oh, so it had left and then it came back for the second time.
And I knew when I first got diagnosed, I had 2 treatment options. It was chemotherapy, do whatever 9 to 10 rounds of it, and hope that it cleared out of my bone marrow. But then there was that risk if you don't do a stem cell transplant, which is ultimately what I ended up doing. They told me, like, if you don't do the stem cell transplant, we really do think that's your best possible chance at being disease-free and in remission. So when it came back, I was like, I knew it. I was like, I should have done the stem cell transplant, but I just tell myself everything happens for a reason, and I wasn't mentally ready to take on the battle the first time. So doing it the second time, I kind of knew what to expect. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with this. I'm not going to be angry at myself because I I didn't do the stem cell transplant the first time. So, yeah.
So I saw like on Instagram like a while ago, like you had posted that picture when like somebody was like shaving your hair.
Oh, yeah, my
So
brother.
so your brother was shaving your hair. What did that feel like? Like, going through like just like shaving your head, like what is that kind of like?
Yeah,
Like,
the first time when I first lost my hair, oh my gosh, it was hard, and it was hard because I hid behind my hair. Like my identity for so long was my hair. It was, somebody saw me, they complimented how long it was.
yeah, it's like your hair was very long. It was thick.
Yeah. So
like it was
yeah,
really
exactly,
nice.
super thick, and I hid
Super thick
hid
and long.
behind my hair. Like I would blow dry it so like my bangs would cover my face. So the first time I held on to that. I held on to it. I remember every time I went into a doctor's appointment, the nurses were like, "You don't want to cut it off yet?" And I'm like, I literally have probably like this much hair in a ponytail up here, and I was like, no, I'm holding on to it as long as I can because I just felt like I needed to do it on my own time. But yeah, that was hard because again, I said like I hid behind my hair. That was who I was. It was literally a shock. I had such a hard time looking in the mirror because not only am I look like bluish purple from the treatment and sick looking, and then now I don't have hair. So the first time was really, really hard to process. Super sad about it. Basically,
What happened? It's okay. I thought it was me. I thought it was the baby.
Yeah, full identity crisis. And then the second time, I was a little bit like lighter about it the second time. That's when I let my brother shave it at the house, and we were like kind of laughing about it, whatever.
So when you said that your hair was like your identity, right? And I feel like a lot of the times that happens with a lot of people with different things. Maybe it's like their clothes or their jewelry. They feel like that defines them, or just different things like that. So after not having your hair like how you used to be, what things did you start focusing on? In order to find who you really are. Not identifying your hair, like not identifying yourself. Oh, I'm Amaya with this long, pretty hair, but like, who are you really inside?
Honestly, that's a really good question because believe it now that like I have grown so much confidence in myself and like how I feel about myself because of that. It's crazy because I didn't have my hair anymore, and it made me like, teach myself self-love. Like
you had to find something else to like love yourself for.
Exactly. And I would always, so I just, that's a good question because I really did hide behind my hair, and I feel like not having it and like losing it, it made me like I have more, to bring to myself. I don't need to like, I'm not based on my looks or anything.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, definitely. That's a really good question because I always thought that too. I'm like losing my hair that made me feel like I valued myself and like higher in a way. Because I wasn't just only looking like at my outside. Yeah.
So how were you before, like, the treatments and everything like that? Like, were you someone who was like always shy? Like, how were you in school? Like, were you a shy person? Were you an introvert?
Yeah, I feel like I was pretty to myself. But I did go out a lot. That's the thing. Like, I was crazy. High school, crazy, always going out. I actually think the week before I was diagnosed, I was in Miami, like 4 days before, like partying up, like so insane. I'm not like that anymore. I'm a full-on homebody. You can't really get me.
How were you an introvert and like going out?
Like, I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
So you would go to the parties, but like you wouldn't talk to anyone except like your friends, I'm guessing.
Exactly. Yeah, I would go with like a group of whoever I was paying. Like I had 3 to 4 main friends in high school, and then just stayed with them. Even when we were out, like always in the corner with them. And yeah, I can't even get myself to go out the house anymore now. I'm like,
why is that?
Home. I love being home.
So how has like going through this journey affected you, your friendships and relationships?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I've got, yeah, the beginning was insane. It's funny because I had somebody tell me too, like, oh, this will all die down. Like everybody visiting you and all your friends, this will die down real quick. And she was right. I think I have like, I have mainly 2 friends now, and I have my family, and I like it like that because I feel like we're getting to an age where I actually value the friendships that I have now, and I want they're on a deeper level and they mean more to me than surface level friendships where, like, you know, oh, do you want to go out this Friday? And I don't really feel like you care about me. So yeah, I mean, the beginning was crazy. I lost a lot of friends. But it brought me closer to my family, and I thank God for that every day. I really do. I'm so blessed in that aspect.
Yeah, so I had remember seeing your Instagram at one point, and I saw that you were in a relationship at one point.
Yeah.
Did that end because of you going through cancer and through treatments, or was that just something else that had nothing to do with it?
No, yeah, it did. It was also a high school relationship. We were like on and off all throughout high school. Yeah, and it did unfortunately end because of that. I will say that I had to focus on myself, and, you know, I had to kind of put that in the back of my mind and be like, you know, that happened, process it, but let's get better. Let's get healthy. Let's, you know, get our life back. And yeah.
Dang, I don't know why something's telling me that something's about to die. I don't know if it's like my monitor. I don't know.
Oh.
Keep saying like low battery.
Oh no.
But I think that just in itself is such a good. It's something that people can apply through any situation in their life. You know, even if it's like a job, a relationship, whether you're going through cancer, it's like, you know, life isn't going to be perfect. There's going to be ups and downs because in life, you know, there's light and dark. There needs to be polarity. But, you know, you just get up, you know, every day you get up, the sun still shines. And like you said, just get up, get healthy, and you keep going, and keep pushing. The people who are, you know, depressed in their bed because, like, let's say their relationship just ended. It's like, you gotta just keep pushing. Like, there's no other option.
You have to do it for yourself. I mean, it's so hard sometimes to be selfish, but you really do have to do it for yourself and want it for yourself to be the best version that you can of yourself. So yeah, totally. You have to.
And it's like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right.
I feel like even though you went through all of this, like, you are such a different person now. Like, your mindset is different. Like, your confidence is different. Because you're not hiding, like you said, behind your hair. You're not, like, focusing on that relationship. Like, you really just have to, like, focus in yourself. So even though you're going through all of this, like, you can look at the, like, lessons and the blessings within the journey. You
Absolutely.
know?
No, totally. I totally agree.
So how do you want to use your story to inspire other people? Like, when you post your YouTube videos, when you post on Instagram, like, what is your motive? What is your goal? What do you want to teach people with your story?
I think mainly when I got sick and I needed, like, you know, well, one, you see all these people, like, I got sick, and then I realized everybody else, their life is still going. You know, like, I'm sitting at home looking at people's Instagram stories and their life is still moving. And I felt like when I didn't have anyone to relate to, I see a lot of, like, younger kids, unfortunately, like 7, 10 years old, who had cancer. And then you see a little bit about their stories on, you know, a St. Jude's channel or something. And then you see older people who are in their, like, 40s going through it. But I just didn't have someone that I could, like, find on YouTube and watch their videos and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. And so part of the reason why I did start doing that, which it was scary because, you know, you have that fear of what are people going to think of me, but you have to take that out of your mind and just be like, what am I going to bring to somebody else? And I have made so many good online friends through that community that we're always supporting each other, and so many amazing girls who have gone through the same thing. And they tell me, they're like, thank you for posting that because I don't feel alone. And yeah, so that is part of the reason, because it makes me feel like I was alone and I couldn't relate to anyone, but I was also able to help someone now. So that is a main reason why I try my best to keep up with my journey and post about it too. Because so many people always tell me, like, oh, I went through that too, and I never heard anybody else have that same thing. So yeah, that is one of the big reasons.
Yes, that's like one of my motives too. I feel like it's like something that I love that I've heard is like, your story can be somebody else's survival guide.
I love that.
And it's like, you know, your purpose isn't just for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, your purpose is tied to so many other people. Like, because you do something in your life, like, you're going to be impacting many people, even if you don't know it. And so, like, that's one of my motivations, as well as, like, why I do the podcast, why I do YouTube videos, just, like, as a young mom. And, like, a lot of the times, like, young girls, and they get pregnant and they think that, like, their life is over. They're not going to be able to, like, go to school. Oh my gosh, now I'm stuck in this relationship with this man that I don't want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
They abort their kids.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not judging anybody, but like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there was times where I thought about like aborting my kids, and that's just me being real.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why? Like, what am I gonna do?
It's
Like, I'm too
scary.
young for
Yes.
this, and I don't, maybe at that time, like, I was fighting with my boyfriend. I'm like, I don't want to be stuck with this person because I have kids.
Right.
But I just want to, like, that's why I post these videos. Like, no matter, it doesn't matter if you have kids, like, you can still do what it is that you want, chase your dreams. And I'm so happy I have my kids. Like, I love my kids. And
you're like,
for me, I feel like I can inspire other women that, like, even if you have kids, you can still chase your dreams.
And I feel like you found a purpose through that too. I love watching your stories and just like the little videos you make. I'm like, I just feel like you're confident and you're like, I don't know, you're just inspiring people like you just said, but I love it. I love watching it. It's so awesome to see, because a lot of people, they're scared of what other people are going to think, and you're just, you're telling people, don't be scared, like, do this.
And I go through that though. Like, I go through that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, I go through that. Like, sometimes, like, I won't post because I'm like, or maybe I'll record a video for my story and then I delete it. And I'm like, nobody cares.
Oh, no.
Like, nobody cares. Yeah. Nobody wants to hear me. I post too much. I talk too much. But I realized that, like, for me, that's a demon.
Yeah.
Like, that's a demon. That's the demon of fear, because God doesn't give us fear.
Yeah, that's so true.
God gives us power, love, and a sound mind.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now that I realize that, I'm like, you know what? The devil's trying to keep me from helping other people. He's trying to keep me from God's purpose for me.
Yeah.
So I just realize, like, I just feel even the people who are successful, even the people who are confident, that doesn't mean that they don't go through fear. That doesn't mean that they don't go through imposter syndrome. It's just, you got to work through it. You got to work through it until you feel confident.
Yeah, that's so true.
Until you feel like, yeah, so it's like everyone goes through it. Everyone's scared.
Right.
But people who started businesses, they're scared. Yeah. They're like, what if I don't make my money back? But they're like, you know what? I'd rather take this leap than be stuck where I am. Because being stuck where I am is scarier than me failing.
Yeah, and that cycle of like repeating the same thing, going back and forth, like it's not going to get you anywhere. Yeah, and you also can't be scared to fail either. You can do it and then be
because it's a part of succeeding. Like, you have to fail in order to succeed.
Yeah,
you have to.
Wow.
If you're scared of failing, you're scared of succeeding.
That's so real. Oh, I love that. That's good. I like that.
So I feel like people really need to change their outlook, change the way that you look at fear. Because if you're looking at fear in a negative perspective, it's going to scare you. But when you look at fear, like, yes, I mean, if you look at, I think that's what we're talking about. Yeah, if you look at like no's or look at rejection as a positive thing, every no I'm closer to a yes, you're going to be excited about failing. You're going to be excited about those no's because you're like, I'm closer to my goal and what it is that I want.
That's so true. Very true. I love that. That's awesome.
So we're going to end up closing it out. But I just want to know if there's anything that you want to say before we like close it out. If there's any message, anything that's on your heart that you really just want to tell people.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like got to keep going, and I cherish memories and moments that I get to spend with people so much more now, because you really don't know. I was just talking about this with someone the other day, but like getting in the car, you don't even know if that could be your last time. And I just I really do cherish the time that I get to spend with people now. And it's so valuable to me. And yeah, if there's anything I can say, it's just like keep the people you love close to you and tell them that you love them. Because
you never know. Like, you never know. You never know. Like, when, like, tomorrow's not promised, right?
Exactly. And I've learned that, and I feel like I live so in the moment now. I really, really do. I live so in the moment.
Be present with your family and with your loved ones and with yourself. And then you realize, like, all of the other stuff don't matter. Social media likes don't matter.
No.
Going out doesn't matter. Parties don't matter. When you're like, wow, like, this is my one life that I get to live, and I'm going to make the most out of it.
Yes, I say that all the time. Yes. Seriously, though. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for asking me to do this with you, because I love watching just what you're doing, and I think it's awesome that, you're trying to inspire people, and you are, because I love watching your stories. I'm like, ooh, what did she post today? Like, let me see, and I love it. So, yeah, I really appreciate
so
it.
Much. That means so much to me. Thank you. And thank you so much for hopping on and being open with your story and being vulnerable. Like, I know that, like that's not easy to do, like, it's not easy to like talk about the hair loss, talk about a relationship, a breakup, talk about, all of these different things. And so I really appreciate you, because even though people who listen to this, if they're not going through cancer, there's different lessons that they can take out of your story.
Definitely.
And apply it to their own life.
You.
Because imagine you're someone who has cancer, and their situation is not even half what you're going through, you know? So it's like, just appreciate whatever you're going through and make the most out of life. And even something that I posted yesterday was like, sometimes the tests are the answers to your prayers. Like, let's say if you pray to God, God, make me more patient. He's not going to just put patience in your heart. He's going to give you a difficult person at your workplace, so that way you can practice patience.
So real.
If you're like, God, make me more confident, boom, like he's going to do something to you where it's like, okay, now you don't have to focus on your physical appearance. Maybe it's a car accident. Maybe it's like a house is burning and you lose half of your skin. Like, now you have to learn how to be confident with yourself and with your heart and your personality, and not just your looks, because this is a vessel. We're all spirits inside of a body. So it's like, this one day is going to die. You know what I'm saying? We come from dust and we're going to go back to dust. And the only thing that's going to live is our spirit. So,
I love that. Oh, you sound so like, I love that you're big on faith and stuff, because I'm getting there in my journey too. And I just love hearing people talk about it. So it's just, I love it. I love it.
I just want to say, like, the biggest thing, like, when you do want to get closer to God, is just be authentic. Be your most authentic self. He doesn't want somebody who's all perfect and holy. He just wants you to seek him. Just ask him and humble yourself and just be like, you know, God, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what it is that you want me to do, but I pray that you reveal yourself to me, show me signs and show me miracles. And boom, all of a sudden, if you say it with faith, you'll start seeing things. Someone will come up to you tomorrow, like, different things, like people will start confirming things to you, and you're like,
the sign. That was a sign. Yep.
That was a sign.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love that. So cool.
So yeah. All right, guys. So thank you so much. Shout out your Instagram and your YouTube, so that way the people can follow you.
I think my YouTube. Oh no, they're both XAMATOS. XAMA. Yeah, MATOS.
Okay, and then I'm gonna also post it on my Instagram. Tag you. So make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure that you guys download the podcast at the Mommy Mindset Mentor. And thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.